available for settlement of claims in the province. I've been requested to facilitate from 10 to 11. And if you see, it's almost 15 minutes before 11. So I'll check with Mr. Denga whether he says that I must be on the stage for 15 minutes or for an hour. But there are several speakers who must make some input. Before we start, all of us, we must rise and sing the national anthem. I'm not sure whether you have prepared. All of us, we must rise and sing the national anthem. Hooray! Thank you very much. You may be seated. I'm one person. When I work, I work. When I play, I play. But you know, most of the time, 75% of our time to 8. But with the current MEC, you can be at work for 110% of the day. So there is no opportunity for us to debrief or to relax. So we must do it whilst we are working. That's why I'm a bit excited that today, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, day 2 of our biodiversity. And I hope that you were part of yesterday's proceedings where the MEC was engaging all the sector stakeholders on biodiversity. And some of us who did not know what biodiversity is, because it's a very big word, and it has to be expatiated, explained, and the presentations yesterday made us to understand really what is it all about, and now we are party to this thing. Some of us, we did not know until Kosi told us that for biodiversity to be successful, it must happen in a rural space. I thought that it happened in the township, because when they call it, you think that biodiversity is a township word. And no, Kosi has taught us yesterday. Thank you very much, Kosi Pilani, to tell us that land is central to each and everything that has to happen. I'm not going to try to recap what has happened yesterday. You know that we had various presentations from all the sectors, government, department, and one thing that they were talking about at the center MEC that I've heard is that at the ultimate end, our people must benefit. That's what it was emphasized yesterday. I am only given the responsibility to call people who are going to talk. And I am going to start with a welcome address from our acting executive mayor of Bojanala Platinum, Councillor Mohammed Karan, I think, yeah. He's the one who's going to welcome us so that we can feel free and start with the deliberation. Can we give him a big round of applause? I'm going to make you to participate. You know, not all of us can talk, so some people must also clap hands so that you can interact with the process. So don't be surprised when time and again I call for hands. I want you to participate so that at least when you go back home, you should have contributed something. Executive Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it working? Good morning, people of the Northwest. Good morning, Dumelang. Goeiemôre. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, people of the Northwest. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the Premier in attendance, the Honorable MEC, traditional leaders, the Khosi, councillors, officials, community at large, and all the lovely entrepreneurs here. As MMC Karani, representing the Executive Mayor of Bojanala Platinum District Municipality, I'm pleased to welcome you to Day 2 of this prestigious biodiversity sector stakeholder engagement. Yesterday we discussed the challenges and milestones achieved concerning biodiversity economy, policy and transformation. We also received feedbacks from wildlife industry stakeholders regarding the existing barriers and opportunities. Most importantly, important concepts such as biodiversity economy investments were discussed to detail and will continue to be discussed today. Program Director, I must say that I'm grateful for the stakeholder engagement on this scale, where though provoking plenary discussions help refine strategies and solutions. This will ensure the people of the Northwest will enjoy and success of wildlife and game farming. The objectives is clear. The Northwest Province aims for the biodiversity economy to benefit its people through land ownership, game farming, job creation, and against poverty. Let's carry this momentum from yesterday's positive work into today's session. With today's programs, it is evident that biodiversity is indeed our economy. I encourage you all to fully engage and familiarize yourself with the initiatives and approaches that the Northwest Province has developed for the biodiversity economy. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, welcome to the Day 2 of the Biodiversity Stakeholders Engagement. I just want to quote some good quotes from Ratan Tata. He was an entrepreneur in India, and he passed on, I think it was last year. And he was a very, very great entrepreneur, and he took on the baton from his family. He's the fifth or the sixth generation from India. Ratan Tata said, only limit to your success is your own imagination. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create your own opportunities. Success is not final failure. It is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Be a person of integrity and always do what is right, even if it's difficult. Even if you have a difficult time, entrepreneurs, carry on and take that baton along. The Tata family employs 1,028,000 people throughout the world. They have 30 companies across the board, agriculture, motor, IT, and you name it. So let's learn from this, and you know, one day one of the entrepreneurs will be like Ratan Tata. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm a good teacher. Yeah, that's how we participate, all of us. Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for welcoming us to Bojanala Platinum District Municipality. We are now going to move to the second item, acknowledgement of guests, and the CEO of Northwest Development Corporation, Ndate Mojale Fanale. Can he ascend the stage to acknowledge the guest? If he's not there, Ndate Denga, Jonathan Denga, can you ascend the stage to acknowledge the guest? I said that I'm the only one who has got power to direct what should happen today. Can we give him a big round of applause as he role play the role to be played by Tate Mojalefana? I'm motivating happy Bahaichu. He's moving very slow. You sound very Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. And thank you very much, MEC, Kosi, Yalala, Pilani, councillors, distinguished guests, colleagues. Thank you for this opportunity. I must apologize for Ndatenale, who is not here with us today. But in his absence here, I would like to recognize all of you who are here first and foremost. And then I'll also like to thank our Honorable MEC. She's been with us here since yesterday, and she does not seem to be tired. Thank you, MEC, that you're still with us. Kosi Pilani, we recognize your presence. We cannot do anything without you. This is your land. I must also recognize the presence of our councillors. Councillor Karan, you have been on duty since yesterday, and in some occasions, you have actually been acting as a spare wheel, and we do thank you for that. I must also recognize our colleagues from the National Department of Environmental Affairs, that's the FFE. We thank you for all the work that you've been doing since yesterday. And then we thank you again for what you're still going to do today. Within us today, we are also joined by a representation of the South African National Parks, who could not be here with us yesterday for unfortunate reasons, but they are here today, and they will still work with us this afternoon. You're welcome. I must also recognize the presence of all industry bodies, associations that are here. I cannot read all of them. It's a number of them. And please, your work is well noticed, and we will continue working together with you and your members. And of course, I have to recognize the work that has been done by all the colleagues from my department. Putting this together was not an easy task. Let's carry on up until it is done. And of course, I would be making a big mistake if I do not recognize those speakers and the program directors of yesterday. They are still here with us, and they're still willing to participate and work with us today. We appreciate you. And those who are going to talk today, all the speakers of today, you are also welcome. In that, Program Director, I think I must also recognize all the CPAs. There's about 40 of them, isn't it? There's about 40 CPAs that are here today. You're welcome again. That will be my last recognition, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Denga, for acknowledging all the guests. You are very, very important. Without you, this event will be nothing. So we are very grateful that you guys have really adhered to the invitation, and you have been behaving since last year and participating throughout the program. We are now going to message of support. Message of support is not a long presentation. Let me start there. You must make sure that you touch the very important aspect that you want to get across. Because sometimes, if you make a very long presentation, people tend not to follow you. So I'll be pleading that let's be focused when we give a message of support and emphasize on the most important point that you want to get through to people. Your thing is sabotaging me here. Those who are responsible for the mics. Thank you very much. Where are you, Baba? You must not look disorganized there. Thank you. But when government is here, we don't want to see this thing, because government will be worried about us. Thank you very much. We are now going to call Ms. Charmaine Jansen van Vieren from Professional Hunters Association of South Africa. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. Fellow colleagues within the industry, honorable MEC, and esteemed guests, and then our officials, without whom this would not be possible. It feels as if I am amongst beloved family and friends. Thank you for the opportunity, let me just add this. Thank you for the opportunity to share a message of support from FASA, the Professional Hunters Association of South Africa. FASA is the biggest professional hunting association in the world. I myself is a professional hunter and hunting outfitter in the Northwest region. My home address may be in Gauteng, but my heart and my passion lies within the Northwest industry. FASA is pleased to be part of the biodiversity sector stakeholder engagement and contribute to working positively towards the sustainability of our natural resources, going into future with all stakeholders in the sector, as we have a shared goal to promote the South African brand. FASA promotes legal, sustainable hunting, and this provides value not only to wildlife, but the wildlife habitat and environment. Hunting adds value to our biodiversity economy. We strongly believe that by working together, we can achieve sustainable hunting practices that contribute to both local and global conservation efforts. Yesterday, we heard from the esteemed Mr. Korombe Matibe when he referred to the income of more than 20 billion rand contributed to the biodiversity economy just from hunting. This includes the total value chain, such as accommodation, equipment, food and beverages, meat processing, taxidermy, permits, and much more. FASA supports a sustainable economy in remote rural areas and local communities of South Africa, providing job security and skills development in the industry. As representative of FASA and the chairperson for training and development, we welcome the opportunity to meet with you and discuss how our association can align its goals with the vision and the priorities of you, the MEC of this Northwest province. We are confident that through open dialogue and collaboration, we can further advance wildlife conservation and develop the rural economy in South Africa, something that I know resonates very well with you, MEC. So thank you for the opportunity. We give our wholehearted support to the province and we look forward to the road ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Charmaine, for the support. It means MEC. Organizations are listening to you. Because sometimes you see Professional Hunters Association, they know the significance of assisting our claimants, our communities adjacent to the parks and where they are operating business. So the clarion call that you have made, I think it's starting to sink, and people now realize the importance of working with our communities, because we can't leave them behind. We are grateful about your initiatives, MEC, and we hope that everybody will embrace this initiative and make sure that we move forward with the vision that you have. Thank you very much, Ms. Charmaine. We are now going to take another message of support from People and Parks. You know, one thing that I've learned, MEC, before you became the MEC, People and Parks were always fighting us. I don't know what have you done to them. There is a gentleman called Jafta. Every time you go, one day I went to Tohoyando and I arranged their transport that they must go to Tohoyando. When they arrived there, I was acting Chief Land Claims Commissioner. They said, but why did you make this man a Chief Land Claims Commissioner when he is unable to sort out core management in the province? But since you came, I can see that we will be able to work together, because CPAs, if we can sit down and discuss the issues, we will not be able to have proper plans, because even investors are going to run away. And I'm confident that the presence of the MEC, Kosipilani knows, has made a very, very major things. And I'm hoping that the sessions that we shall be having with the CPAs along with the MEC is going to be to look at what have been decided here, and we will move forward with all those recommendations. And we are committing as the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform. Can we now give Ms. Ivy a big round of applause as she ascends the stage? Yesterday when I was driving here, I could realize that we were live on Facebook. So I'm afraid to hug the presenters who are coming in, because my wife might be looking at this thing. So, you know, when it is Friday, women are very, very rough. So let me not do that. It's not out of fun, Madam. But
ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Biodiversity indeed has been there. Our forefathers has been practicing it. They were living in the same land with the animals and the plants. Those plants that they were using medicine to feed those animals. So today we are very grateful to realize that we have been recognized as the community to participate in this. What we are only asking for is for our community to benefit and to be given the financial benefit, job creation, and the capacity building should be given to them so that they could benefit fruitfully. Thank you.
beneficiation. I think any person who shall be living here without understanding that beneficiation package will be, it will mean that that person was not concentrating throughout the session. Thank you very much, People and Parks. You know, you are sweet and short and straight to the point. That's what I like. We are now going to call Khosi Arona. Message of support. I only see Khosi Pilani here. Khosi, ke bona fa go tsentse gore pele mokhuduthama ga bua ga ke itse gore ga gona le kgosi e mongwe o teng fa barulagadi ka tlotlo e tle heletseng khabo khabo Kabo mukhatla ay jeburi. Arimin ka mo kabo kabo mukhata. Kabo 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 mukh. Ay namili ang sutare. Ay namili. Aina mele, aina mele, aina mele. Oh kabo kabo, ke laola kgosi ano. Oh kabo kabo, aina mele, mositare. Thank you very much. This is Africanism. Thank you.
Ke a go leboga re bogatsu o supa tota gore o ikutlwisa go laola ebile o ikgatelela mo kgosing. Nya o ira sentle ga o itse gore o kry-a gape opportunity e leng yaanong o ikutlwisa o je monate. Bagaetsho a ke dumedise mo mosong wa gompieno ke lemoge go nna teng ga MEC, go nna teng ga boeteledipele bo botlhe bo bo leng teng fa le boemedi ba mafapha le ditheo tse di farologaneng. Ke batla gore ke simololle fela ka go tlhalosa gore ga ka emelela ke bone go kwadile House HOTC ke House of Traditional Council. Ga ka emelela Traditional Council ya House of Traditional Council ka gore ga ke itse gore ke e feng eo. Nna ke emeletse bakgatla ba re leng fa mo lefatsheng la bona maabane fa re motlogolo fa Raphadi ge Raphadi a bua fa ga ka batla go tlhalosa gore ke mang le nna yaanong le setse le utlwile gore ke motlogolo yaanong dio tsotlhe tse nna di bua tsele di a nkama mme ke tsaya gore ga se fela ka bakgatla re buella merafe e yotlhe e go dirisiwang mafatshe a bona go ka dira conservation. Jaanong ke batla gore ke tsenye seemo se ka gongwe ge e le gore ke batla go emelela batho ba bangwe se ka nnang botoka ke sa Contralesa. Contralesa ke Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa, abbreviated. I can only represent the other Dikhosi if I'm using the cap of Contralesa because I cannot represent the House as I'm not a member of the House. So for me to represent everybody in the leadership, it should rather be from that angle. And I hope this is obviously covering all the areas that are under the traditional leadership or traditional communities across the country. We are well aware that biodiversity, despite of us being in the Northwest, affects across the country. So that's why we have even invited sun parks because they are also affected as we regard or consider the traditional communities and the benefit for their land. My plea, and once again, my request, MEC, is for government to really engage communities when they want to be successful or succeed in biodiversity transformation and ensure that communities benefit and participate fully. Ka mantswe a makalo raitso, ke a leboga, and I wish you all the best in your deliberations. Thank you.
Khabo khabo umukhata khabo khabo mukhata aina mele mositare aina mele ajebure. Thank you very much. Ra leboga Khosi. It's very important all the time when our traditional leaders are with us to respect them. There is no one who must respect them without us. We must be the ones who are very respectful to them because this is our future. I'm not sure the program says MEC must come and introduce the premier, and I don't see the premier. So I don't want to enter there. So I'm now going to call a very vibrant MEC for economic development and environment to come and address us so that we can now go to the next session. Eneke me bitsa linkopa. Liga malama kusikasi. Malibongwe. Aro pelon tambangaj. Malibongwe. 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 Mali. Oliga malama kusi. Malibongwe. Liga malama kusikasi mali o malibongwe 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 ma. Thank you very much. Let me see you Karikamola Fanda. Thank you.
You want to disrupt government. Like I also tempted to join Khosi Horwaisi. But I want to give how banile power. Yes, yes. But I know matate. Kore ola but let me also join Tate Denga to acknowledge all of you and once more indicate that we might not be able to call you by names, but we really appreciate the time that you have set aside to just be with us in this historic 3-4 days, just to reflect on the directives of the Premier in his 7th administration to say, we need to do things different, we need to change approaching how we have been trying to give services to our people, and importantly, to assess as to whether the government is now reaching out to the people and is responding to the needs of the people as it now. We must also appreciate, biodiversity. The nice thing about biodiversity, it speaks of natural things, including when you are born. When you are born, you are not created, you are not cloned. So you know who your parents are, you know who your forefathers are. When you are a community member, you even know who your Khosi is. You're not like artificially produced. So you can't be told, Hore, you are not Lenkopani. Okay, it's fine. I'm Lenkopani because I'm being bought 24 years ago to be Lenkopani. So it's I'm bought, I know I am. So today we are so pure, we are natural, and we want to reflect on how do we then benefit from our
naturality without having to go out and look for things that we might not be able to get at the immediate. So I am just excited in Tatebogatsu that we must also appreciate the fact that some of you are here in this province. Behind this whole setup, if it was not of you guys, we would not be able to actually have navigated to this point. I am confident that we have committed to the Premier and the people of this province, that we are not going to do anything that does not respond to the needs of the people of the Northwest, and that's where we are. We have made a clear commitment that we have lost touch with our people, we have lost touch with the Kgosi tsa rona. We have allowed it as government, specifically in the context of the Northwest, to open a gap between our people and the Kgosi, and between government and the Kgosi. So yesterday, as we were reflecting, part of what we reflected, the Premier, was to say, Premier, there's only one thing that is left, is to get clarity on completing the standing issues around resolving the status of the Kgosi, so that as we serve our people, we must also serve them not having these instabilities. But Premier was very excited also to say, let us push for the benefit of our people. So today, now that the Premier is arriving, my task is very simple, is to come forth and hand the stage to the Premier. Where once more, those of you who were not here yesterday, were introducing to you the Premier of the Northwest, the one and only captain of this ship, the custodian of the vision of the 7th administration, here Northwest government. We're introducing to you the man who has challenged those who are in government. We are introducing the man who has challenged us as he was accepting to take the baton of leading this government. Part of what he said to us was to drive this department and to drive it to unlock everything that would be useful to our communities. I know Premier is very excited to see that we have touched all those angles. He will not be with us here today, but today we are going to touch critical points which I know as part of his address he will reflect. We will be dealing with issues related to game donation and transformation. That policy must actualize the call by the Premier to say, let's bring back the integrity of the Kgosi tsa rona. That policy must make the Premier to stand in this province and be able to convene the Kgosi and say, Department on the side of biodiversity, through this, I'm glad that Sun Parks is here. We are still going to engage and engage beyond the level of this room on how best we can mobilize, not only mobilization for family and friends, mobilization for the actualization of what will be embedded in the policy of game donation and transformation. So the Premier is very passionate on bringing balance to the instabilities in our province, to have this segregation between Batho ba rona le di Kgosi. Now, yesterday on Amposahore, is it possible, MEC, that I can just set aside a week and I call all the horses, the CPA, the infrastructure, wildlife, over this policy should apply such that a certain provision is given to the Khosi for purpose of government showing respect and serity to the Khosi. Now I have made a commitment at Ebohazo that it is doable, it is possible, and people who are here are going to have discussions within that policy that we have crafted, that as we deal with previously disadvantaged, we must not forget to sustain what is original in as far as the standing of the traditional leaders in communities. That's why Renale Matata Adi community di lwali di Khosi. There was the understanding of our culture and setso sa rona ke hore all the poor people, all the widows, or everybody, orphans, when they're hungry, they go to Khosi. Now, what is Khosi going to do if Khosi himself is hungry? Now, it is this government that must start to package its policies such that it responds to that gap that has been created and that can be resolved out of what we have now. So the game donation and transformation, MEC has already engaged once more on issues that were left unattended and pending for a very long time since 2013 to date. Issues around the pending matters of Bahama River on the game donation, because it was actually administered when the province did not adopt and discussed and consulted on this policy. So we are going to close that matter and we will have to agree on settling everything, but at the end, we must persuade the communities to participate like any other community with the preference that will be given to them as a CPA, to participate as part of those that were previously disadvantaged. But at the same time, we must address Khosi on the basis of the provision of the policy that we are going to draft, so that we settle that fight between Merafi and the Khosi. I know we don't have a lot of them, but I know quite a number of them, 15 or 16 of the Khosi Zarona who have got infrastructure that is there. Because as we deal with the Mafisa project and we deal with massification of the wildlife, we must as well create a market. And as we deal with the issues of development of hubs and try to minimize export, as we deal with creation of the market and recognition of our professional hunters and those that would want to put them to a point of being able to like get closer to the billions that are mentioned here in terms of the contribution of hunting. It can't be just billions thrown here, but they are not put to a test of where is Northwest community and how is it benefiting them. Because if indeed that writing, those billions are actually possible in the Northwest, Premier will not be having the poverty that we are experiencing in parks and tourism as an institution. We will not be having government that is still talking about bailing out and bailing out. But time is now that we are given the last opportunity by our people to transform, and this industry is an opportunity, and men and women who are here are going to make it happen. So you must just be free, Premier, as you address this. I am being briefed that today, in attendance in terms of representation, we have about 40 CPAs in the House. Now, those CPAs must know that yesterday Hannes was saying, let's grow Northwest together. The CPAs must understand that the short message they gave to us, we have listened to it and we have interpreted it well, and it served as an indication that they are inviting government to join them to work together to grow Northwest. So they must also find a way and find time to deal with the instabilities between them. They must make sure that they apply the applicable legislation to keep their house in order, and we will forever recognize them in terms of beneficiation. When it is hunting and it is possible in the Northwest, we are going to sit and find a way of making it benefit government, benefit even the people who are next to where hunting has to take place, including also making sure that we make use of the professional hunters around this province and capacitate them. I have noted the submission Van Vieren, or the Professional Hunters Association. That part of what they do is also skill development and capacity building. To make sure that we consolidate, we coordinate, we understand that we profile our people in the province. I have a number of engagements this morning with some of them who are coming from Moramotsere, some are coming from around Bujanala, and I have given that DEDECT to really get a better profile of our professional hunters, check where we need to capacitate them, such that we are able now to say, now that we have them, as a province we'll have to create a market. And it is possible, and it is doable. Otherwise, we are going to turn our people into thieves. We will forever arrest them because we have not created a better opportunity for them to exercise what is due to them for their benefit and for the benefit of government. Now I am waiting for a signal because I was told I must not do other things. Now the person I'm going to introduce once more remains the same Premier that you know, Premier Lazarus Mokhosi, the Premier of the Northwest, the owner and the only person who has given directive that this thing is happening. If he would have not mentioned biodiversity economy as part of his administration, wouldn't be doing it. So we must also appreciate the fact that we had a visionary leader who would always want to accelerate services to our people, who have always reminded us that government is not starting today. He has always reminded us that we have to look at where we have done wrong. We must invite everybody. We are together in this. We must be able to allow people, business, private sector, dikhosi, merafi ya rona, everybody who has got something to say. And that is why we are going live on the Facebook of the Premier. So that when you have inputs or when you are watching from a distance, we want you, even if you can criticize us and come up with workable solutions, because this is the platform that is created for that. We welcome criticism. No one have ever said it will be just an easy and plain sailing. However, Premier, let's invite you this morning to join us and give us once more a directive. Premier Ubwa Mela Ofela Nara implement.
Thank you very much, MEC Lenkopane. MEC Moreng, executive mayors present today, Kosinyalala, Mungwamu, Akilebogele matsapa gago. Re tlotse mmogo mabane happy today we are still together. All councillors present here, the board members, CEOs present, senior managers of government, and all invited guests, all protocol observed.
Yesterday I addressed the gala dinner and I was told to give a keynote address. Today I was told that I'm given 2 minutes to officially open today's session. So I will only do that, so that I must be invited next time. So that allow me to extend a warm welcome to all those who joined this gathering for the first time this morning, including our esteemed leaders of the wildlife and bio-trade industry, the associations who worked tirelessly with us the entire yesterday, the academia, and our own government officials. It is truly honored to usher you into today's prestigious stakeholder interaction, an event that brings together passionate, innovative minds and professionals in one of the most dynamic industries of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, today it's all about exploring future opportunities, broadening the horizon, and understanding that the sky is the limit. Otherwise, it stems from the deliberations of yesterday, engagements that we begin to understand deeply the strength that this province possesses as one of the biodiversity hotspots of South Africa. And we recognize the importance of the interdependent and the respectful relationship between humankind and nature. Our people have coexisted harmoniously with our biodiversity, but due to some reasons, biodiversity is decreasing day by day. And if it doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen, then our earth could no longer be a place to live in it. We, however, find solace and joyful reality that our government is working hard, hand in hand with the industry, to find ways and means that will ensure that all our communities benefit from our country's rich and diverse biological resources. Our land has an abundance of different varieties of plants and animals, which serves as a source of natural products, including cosmetics and medicines, and the Northwest Province on its own, it's a home for the best and well-endowed biological species, which makes it another tourism mecca for this country. As a province, we are committed to the cause towards a growing and inclusive wildlife sector, towards a growing and all-inclusive wildlife sector, which begins to directly impact positively to the lives of our impoverished and previously disadvantaged people at large, especially in those very rural corners of the province. And it is for this gathering that we should aim to find the ways to strategically position biodiversity in a way that it responds to the needs of the poor. Significant numbers of hectareage of land has been restored to the rightful owners, and much of this land is the land that falls within what we call critical biodiversity areas, owing to their ecosystem support of great significance, sensitiveness, and the species richness, are some of which lies within our very own flagship protected areas, which we call upon your great minds towards the unlocking of these attached economic spin-offs. I want to say, in conclusion, with these few words, that we rely on you as active participations members of the sector, that you should be able to assist government. How are we going to aggressively transform the sector? If there is no transformation at the center of the sector, then we are not doing anything meaningful for our people. Now, yesterday I said, in conclusion, let's have a plan that is clearly defined, that can be clearly outlined, action, audited, and be monitored, so that we are able to track progress or non-progress. We should avoid a lot of English and have a lot of action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier, for the directive. You know, when the Premier talks, he talks policy. Now, I'm happy that people say that sometimes politicians don't put this thing in a very pragmatic way. Premier says, whatever we are doing here today, we must projectize it. Put it in a log framework, develop a monitoring and evaluation that is going to make that our each and every action is implemented according to the time frame. He's talking about the SMART principle. It must be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I think, Premier, we heard you very clearly, and honorable members who are part of the same. My role was only to facilitate until here. Now, what's going to happen, Mr. Kurumbi will be taking over from me and then allow other presentations. But before we go to the next session, I think we are going to allow you to break for 10 minutes. Because if we don't drink that tea and water, whatever refreshment that is outside, Premier calls it a fruitless expenditure. So, so we must make sure when the leadership is here, we behave properly and we talk about PFMA so that nothing, the Auditor General must not talk about that fruitless expenditure. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's break. On my phone, it's 11:42. Can we make sure that 12 o'clock we are all seated? Let us start sitting at 5 to 12 so that we can have an hour. I did not do much bad because I only had an hour. Thank you very much. We are adjourning. Thank you. Thank you.